Hello everyone, this is FeetVlog, and today I want to talk about Haley Barbour and the South. And the issue here is, well, it's based on this news report that I read on Yahoo, talking about how Haley Barbour pledges to veto a license plate honoring a Klansman. A Klansman. Now, you know, the issue here, I think, goes a bit beyond Haley Barbour. I know that he's sort of an easy target, and rightfully so, actually, but I would like to broaden things out quite a bit here by suggesting that the real problem that we have is with the South. Now, I realize that there are good, decent Southern people. You know, in some ways I do seriously thank the good Lord for the South, but the South has a problem, and the problem is that they can't seem to let go of the Confederacy. And we all know that the Confederacy was very strongly interested in preserving slavery. Now, I realize that there were issues of states' rights and stuff like that, but the problem was the big problem was quite frankly slavery, and we have to understand that slavery forced the Confederacy to be an immoral thing. And rightfully so. The Confederacy, there's nothing honorable about it. There's literally nothing honorable about it, because for as much as you might want to look at the quote-unquote states' rights issue, if you are literally involved in a movement, in a governmental movement that has a vested interest in oppressing an ethnic group, then there's nothing about it that is even remotely moral. Nothing. But people in the South have this deep desire, to varying degrees, I guess depending on which southern state we're talking about, to hold on to that Confederacy. And they'll develop these organizations honoring the Confederacy and this and that and the other. And you want to know what? As far as I'm concerned, I don't think that you're a real American if you hold on to the Confederacy. I don't think that you're a real American. I think that you cannot serve or honor the Confederacy and the people who were involved in it and be honoring and be able to honor America at the same time. I think that you can't do that. I don't think it's possible. They are direct contradiction. It's a contradiction. I just don't buy into it. You know, now the Republican Party has obviously made great inroads into the southern part of the country. The problem is that the first Republican was Lincoln. The first Republican president was Lincoln. Lincoln. Think about that for a moment. Mull it over in your mind for a moment. Okay? Think real hard about that. Because to be a true Republican, you cannot embrace the Confederacy in any way. It cannot be a part of you. There's no way. And yet we have people in Mississippi, and I'm sure in other parts of the South, that insist upon embracing an immoral government system that sought to oppress an ethnic group, that sought to view one as property. Now, there is simply no way around that. There is no way around it. I've heard comments in response to the article that I was reading that talked about, you know, oh, I am involved in these Confederate things, but it's only to honor my ancestors, not to honor you know, the oppression of black people or anything like that. You can't separate the two. They are inseparable. If you want to honor your ancestors, you know, it's one thing to honor being Irish or being Jewish or being whatever, Scottish, Old English, whatever it happens to be, German, whatever. It's another to embrace what was a government system. A government system which had as part of its moral fiber, or immoral fiber, the ownership of slaves, black people in particular. So that it doesn't hold water. The idea of celebrating the Confederacy, but not the racial component of it, or something like that. I think that you're lost if you honestly think that way. I believe that any African American who's in the Republican Party, such as myself, you know, we need to kind of step up and say, you know what, the Republican Party, party of Lincoln, as we often like to say, cannot embrace this. It must. What I would like to see is a change in the platform, saying that we firmly and completely reject the Confederacy in every way. That we will have no part in it whatsoever. And we will not consider honorable any person who chooses to identify themselves in any way with the Confederacy. Now, I realize that in today's society, we have a problem. And that problem is that it is true that in today's country, that African Americans, many who belong to the Democrat Party, of course, have bashed white people, falsely accused them of racism, falsely accused, simply out of politics. If you believe in small government, if you believe in states' rights, or whatever, then you are considered a racist. I think that is a horrible, horrible thing. The truth of the matter is that if you look in the background of any ethnic group, you will find bad things. You will find very bad things. It doesn't, like I said, any ethnic group. You will find very bad things. And so no ethnic group has any right whatsoever to put down any other ethnic group. Okay, now we can put down philosophies, we can put down religions and stuff like that, because that has to do with thought processes and like I said, philosophies and stuff like that. That is one thing. That is one thing, and that's part of the ability to have a rich debate on everything in life. But there are no ethnic groups that can claim to be better than others. We, according to the Bible, we all have sinned and, fallen short of the glory of God, and I think that we all need to understand that. For those who are white, who are listening, and you really feel like you've been just bludgeoned by the black community, every time you say something, you are accused of being a racist or whatever, I would say to you here, not to let yourself become discouraged. You should not let yourself become discouraged. I feel that there's a very strong sense of discouragement because, and I think it comes from hurt feelings, because I believe that there's a segment of our community, our country, that feels like no matter what, you're just going to be called a racist, so I might as well just give in. And I don't think that's such. I think that's a trap, an emotional trap that could hurt you. And I think that's something that you shouldn't allow happen to you. Don't let the black community turn you into a bad person. Don't let them take you down that dark road, because that will only hurt you on the inside. I mean, I would argue that you're probably already kind of hurting on the inside as it is, and you're like, wait a minute, come on now, wait a minute, come on now, wait a minute, come on now. And I understand that, as a black person, I really do truly understand that, and your feelings are hurt, and I understand that. But don't allow it to corrupt you. Don't allow it to erode you. Don't let it do that to you. Instead, still try to hold the faith. Know that not every black person is a Jew, such as myself. But just know that it's important not to allow these things to erode you on the inside. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say on this, at least for now. I'm sure I'll revisit this issue in the future. So if you have anything you'd like to say, any comments, responses, please, post them, and I'll gladly read them and probably respond to them. So, that's about it now. You take care, guys. Bye.